This is a godly content. Now, I want you to understand that by the last verse that we read, and that is verse 11, and when they had brought their ships to land, they forsook all and followed him. Let me ask you a question, church, because I want us to go together. Now, by the time they had the draft of fishes, their own ship got filled. The ship of James and John, their ships also got filled, so much so that they were almost sinking. Let me ask you a sincere question. At that point in time, were they successful? You're not sure? At that point that their boats were filled with fishes, were they successful? Were they successful? Let me ask you the question again. Listen to the question. At that point where their boats were filled with fishes, were they successful? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you really sure? Were they successful? Were they successful? Are you sure? Are you sure? Of course they were successful. They were successful. Do you know what it means that when you toiled all night and you called in the morning that you had so much fish? My God, if those guys go to sell those fishes, they sell these ones. I'm not sure in their time of catching fish, all through their career, I'm not sure that they've ever had enclosed that number of fishes. People of God. But Jesus presents to us something interesting. When the Bible says in verse 11, they forsook all and followed. Remember, living a life of impact, a life of evidence. People of God, there was success everywhere full of fishes. But then again, there was a bigger one, and that was called purpose. Most of the time, human success does not necessarily mean that you have divine evidence. The boats were full of fishes, but however, it didn't look like their divine purpose. So, sir, in time to come, their lives were now going to be throwing nets for Jesus that was going to catch men, not just fishes. So I present to you a parallel. One is success. Another is purpose. How do you get such a miracle and you walk out on it? Because this is no longer my purpose. I fought hard for this, but it's no longer aligning to my calling. There are some of us who are successful in distraction. You are successful in what doesn't look like what God has ordained you for. But there's a level of evidence which you will never come up to until you ask the Lord, Lord, I want to function in the purpose for which I was born. That word that jumps in your heart, it's coming alive. It's coming alive. It's getting bigger in your spirit. The more you meditate, the more it is assuming, a structure, becoming flesh, and then giving life to you. It's mixing with the Zoe life. It is giving you, releasing a form of supernatural energy. People of God, I want to say it again. He spoke to the multitude, but he said to Peter, how do I know my Rhema word? It aligns with my situation. So, sir, I know my generation celebrates success, but most importantly, the Lord sits back and be watching. If you see success, can you discern the difference between success and your purpose? This generation, the only answer they want to hear is how successful you are. But heaven is about to showcase men who are walking in their purpose. Sir, I want to let you know that Peter would have ended up, no matter how much of a good fisherman is, he would have ended up receiving a chieftaincy title in his village, but never to touch the world. The way the prophecy came over his life. Upon this rock will I build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail. Who's ever received that particular word? Never would it be said that one man spoke in one day, 3,000 people. Shakopotola. Never would it be said that a man was described as part of the men that trouble our nation, because he decided to walk in purpose. Remember, I came to this service to tell you the heart of God concerning you as he has to, because you can, sir, do you know your business can do so well, but sir, it is not in sync with the purpose of God concerning your life. Lift up your right hand, say, my Father, my Father. Say, align me to the purpose for which you made me. You may not understand how powerful this prayer is, but declare it again like you mean it. Say, my Father. Say, my Father. May I not be successful in distraction. Say, my Father. May I not be successful in what does not look like your will for my life. Somebody shout fire. Take your seat. But sir, one thing I do know is that purpose has a way of always betting success. But success can never bet purpose. Did I confuse you? Let me say it again. Purpose has a way of betting success. Do you know that if you're walking in your God ordained, there's no reason why heaven will not honor you. There's no way the world will not know somebody like you. You're walking. However, you can be successful, but success will never bet purpose. Am I communicating? Look at your neighbor for me. Preach to your neighbor. Say, neighbor. Success or purpose? What's your neighbor saying to you? Touch your neighbor again and ask your neighbor, success or purpose? What's your neighbor saying to you? Is there some people who believe they are going to walk in purpose in 2025? They are going to walk in God's will and God's agenda for their life. People of God, that they are not going to be swayed by the success of their friends, but they know that if they continue to walk on their purpose, that God will cause immense success to come out of what he has placed in their hands. At the sound of your amen, let March begin to deliver the evidence. I wish your amen were thunder louder than it is.
This is a godly content.